Good morning. Welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast for July 13th, 2019.
Today we're talking new Nintendo hardware.
G2A is under fire again. We'll let you know why.
Cuphead headed to Netflix.
Power Rangers is getting a reboot. It's
Stay tuned. Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast for July
13th.
13th.
It's still
You
July 13th.
forgot.
No. I was more wondering why I was saying in the date again, even though I just said it earlier.
Because
That's why.
A refresher.
to make sure people know we're live.
We're live. You know how you have to have timestamps and stuff like that. People, when you're selling stuff on like the marketplaces, and people put the timestamp with the username. And, yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing. Except we're not selling anything. We're just gonna give you guys free news.
I'm selling stuff all the time.
I'm selling myself right now.
Yep.
Welcome to the show.
With my deep and sultry voice.
Oh yeah,
Sexy
baby.
voice.
Let's
Sexy voice.
do this show.
All right.
Welcome.
Welcome. I'm Nick.
I'm Tony.
I'm Chris.
I'm Brian.
We're here to talk about this week's news in gaming and movies.
News.
Yeah, and TV,
Let's-
I guess.
Yes.
So weird, Brian.
So
You're weird.
yes, you are weird.
He stuck his tongue out.
No, I didn't.
we have the
Should we watch the
VOD.
tape back? Yeah.
We have the
We can
VOD.
watch it.
We do have the power.
Should we roll back that tape?
There's proof.
Slow motion.
And then me shaking my head. No, it was full. I just sitting
That's
there
kinky.
for a while.
That's kinky.
Hot stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, baby.
Tempted to.
Biggest news this week, Nintendo announced the new Switch Lite.
The worst kept secret for the Nintendo
Yes.
Switch.
Um,
So it basically confirms everything has said in the past couple months. It is a handheld only version of the Nintendo Switch.
that was the only part I was kind of surprised about.
It is no, I was expecting that.
I was expecting it to be able not to come with a dock, but at least to be able to,
Nope.
in
so
case one day you wanted to upgrade.
So yeah,
I understand everything else. The Joy-Cons are locked in.
the Joy-Cons are locked in. They're
D-pad.
D-pad
Nope.
now.
I'm actually
Proper D-pad.
well, we'll see if it's a mushy ass D-pad like the Pro controller is,
Hmm.
because that's a bad D-pad. That's a very bad D-pad.
But
But
Why
I think
do
the
we
big,
need it?
my personal issue, not like it's a very small minority. There's no kickstand.
Yeah.
I actually use the kickstand a lot on my Switch.
But if you're not
so-
pulling
But you
the
can't-
Joy-Con
which is
off,
which is
Yeah.
exactly the thing. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's not like a knock for me.
Yeah.
I'm just like I use the kickstand a lot.
my
Yeah,
thing
Switch.
is, why do you need it?
It's also $100 cheaper than a current.
Yes,
like a
but
currently
you just
existing.
moved away from your slowly phasing out Game Boy. You have a system that can be portable, and you don't.
They're phasing out
now-
the. This is the
this
death of the
this is-
D3S.
Yeah, so this
Yeah.
is now, instead of having a 3DS, it's...
And they're trying to
If you
unify.
have the Switch.
I get it. And that's where I was kind of confused, and I say that's why I'm confused that it doesn't plug into a dock.
I'm okay with that.
And I
I
get
don't.
it.
I don't
I
see
was-
the point of it.
It's for people who only want to do handheld.
Just a handheld.
Yes.
Or for people
just
with
keep your Switch out and.
or for people with kids, because this thing being solid,
Yeah, the
is gonna be
the
better
Joy-Cons
for-
don't come off, so it's less points of failure.
yeah.
Or just don't let your kids have video games.
But that's, another point to it. But
Yes. That's a whole separate
You
tangent.
know, responsible parenting.
well, I had a Game Boy.
I
That
mean,
thing was a brick.
But
man.
you weren't gonna break it. If you can't trust your kids to hold
I
the
see
system,
where you're going. I thought you were just saying kids shouldn't play video games.
No.
They should be outside doing
that's the
outside
next
things.
generation. We need this to people
you
to
can
keep
play this
watching.
Nintendo Switch Lite outside.
What I'm saying is, if you don't trust your kids to have the Switch, then don't
It's-
go out and buy a new system.
It's
just
funny.
for
I
them to hold
work
it.
with someone. They bought a Switch. Like they were like, "Should I get an Xbox or a Switch?" And I'm like, "What do you guys play?"
Yeah.
And it's like, "Well, we like Mario Kart and we like Mario Party." And I'm like, "Then get it Switch." Like this is
My friend was at work was asking me too about should I
You
get
know,
a Switch? I'm
it's-
like, do you play a lot of Smash? Yeah, yes. Do we play Mario Kart? I
Yeah.
play Mario Kart with my wife. Yeah,
well,
then
then Switch.
yes, it's either a Switch and then an Xbox or a PlayStation.
Yeah. But
You're-
that's
you're
so I was
picking
laughing because
poison.
I'm like, "We'll get that." And I'm like, "You guys go, out enough It goes in the van. You guys can, or the whatever, and you guys can. Oh, it's not leaving the house. The way my kids treat things, it's not leaving the house. You're going.
Then this would be a good.
So this might be a little bit better, but
I have no issues with this. I mean,
I don't want it. But
no,
I
neither
just
do
don't
I.
see the point in itself. That's
I see it. We asked that question, which was the Nintendo Game Boy Advance Micro. People asked that when that came out. Like, why did this Micro came?
because Japan was digging it.
Yes, and you know what? I bet you Japan will also dig.
They'll
this
eat it
console.
up.
No HD rumble.
No rumble at all,
Yeah, no IR sensor.
which makes sense. The IR sensor makes sense.
Apparently, motion controls are lacking.
No, motion controls are still in the console.
They said something weird about that. I don't know. Either way,
If you want to play other games that require Joy-Cons attached,
you can attach a Joy-Con, like you can
like
buy
wireless,
a separate
you
Joy-Con.
can still connect it wirelessly.
But that's where people are now getting into the. But if I want to do that,
then just get a Switch.
Joy-Cons are already.
$100.
Yes.
Well,
$100
yeah.
bucks, yeah, a pair.
Well, in the States they're 70 or 80 or whatever they happen to be, but it's like.
It's the price difference.
And
Essentially, it's the price difference between that and a full Switch.
yeah, I feel like if the price difference was a little bit bigger,
yeah.
I could
Like if it's
I
cheaper.
could get it, but for $100, all of a sudden I have to buy, like someone said, I have to buy controllers. Well, now I'm $20 off just buying a Switch.
Yeah. Just
So-
buy a Switch. Just buy a Switch.
Just buy a Switch.
And I think Nintendo has always been like that. They're very much like, we have this one main line,
Yeah.
and then the light line, like what the DS came when the DS came
Yeah.
out. They eventually will phase out. Well,
This
they're
one's
not gonna
yeah.
phase out the TV stuff, especially with this matching the rumor of the Pro version coming out sometime next year.
Yeah.
And you can transfer over data too.
Yes.
Right.
Well, you can technically transfer over data now.
Yeah.
It's just a
One
large
minute.
pain in the butt. Like that's the other piece is people are like, I'm cool with having one that's a little lighter and better on battery and yada 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 yada, but I need my saves to bounce
Yeah,
between
to
both.
yeah.
Without me having to sit there before I leave somewhere going like, okay, start the half-hour transfer, but both systems beside each other.
Well, I mean, you can probably just sync the saves on the cloud, can't you?
But it destroys everything on the other system.
Oh, is that so? Oh, okay. Well, that's a bummer.
At this point, so unless that's what people are saying, like if it just syncs,
Yeah.
cool. If it doesn't, holy crud.
Yeah, because Nintendo's great for online stuff.
We
Mario
were
Ma-
playing tennis,
Yes.
and the app did detect that we were playing tennis and wanted to know if we wanted to like talk with the
to-
other people that were
Yeah.
playing tennis, and it's like,
Hey, you heard the Mario?
you did something?
He did something.
You knew about the Mario Maker 2 stuff?
Which?
So apparently, even if we're friends, all of us say we all got Mario Maker 2.
Yeah.
We have to add each other again.
You can't just link your
Nope.
account and.
Nope. The friends list on the Switch does not sync with the friends list in Mario Maker 2. So you need to not only have to add your friends
Oh,
Maker
so you're
ID,
following people
Yes.
with the Maker ID thing.
and it's like, but why does that not work?
Because
You
it's
have
Nintendo.
Then what's the friends list doing on the Switch? It literally does nothing.
telling
Tell me
you what-
when
tells
you
you
last
what
logged
you're
in.
But I
and
don't
when
care.
What
That's-
you played the most, and
Yeah.
I only
It
care
gives me
about
all the information I want on you.
except the ability to share.
Oh, psh, I don't want
Friends
to
stuff.
play with you guys.
none of the Switch.
Who? I just
I don't think I have a multiplayer.
the friends list on the Switch
Tennis, we
seems
could
so
play tennis.
useless.
We can do this now. I had to find the
Cartridge.
the cartridge that updates
Oh.
Oh.
probably a lot.
The cool thing about tennis was I found, like they released those characters online, and I was like, oh, I'm so many months behind. I'm never going to get them. You get them early if you play the online stuff, and after the tournament's over, they're just like, here, have Dry Bowser now. And it's like, oh. The only thing you don't get is the alternate colors, but those stay open constantly, so
So you can unlock them eventually.
you can unlock them eventually.
But yeah, like,
It didn't hold its attention with me.
there's still no Bluetooth.
Maybe because it was online.
There's nothing in this. This
I
thing
don't-
is the bare bones.
It's
of
very
a-
bare
yes.
bones, but it's also very inexpensive comparatively speaking. So if you just want a basic Switch for Pokemon Sword Shield,
Yeah.
coming out next or in
In
November. In November.
Or Animal Crossing.
Or
People
Animal
are
Crossing.
looking at it for Animal Crossing. And
Yeah, Animal
Oh,
Crossing.
I can't wait for Animal Crossing.
It's funny.
Fire
with Animal-
Emblem.
it's
Fire
funny.
Emblem is going to be a big one.
Oh yeah.
See, but that's what. See, I don't know. These are all games now where I'm like, the fact that I can play them on my TV.
And that's what my wife was talking about too, because I was showing her the thing about it. She's like, "But I like being able to put it on the TV," and I'm like, I totally understand.
Right.
I'm not like dissing one or the
That's
other.
how you get the second TV. When Pokemon comes out,
Yeah.
you need your own
Yeah.
television.
When Sword and Shield comes out.
Yes, yes,
guys are ready
convenient.
now.
That'll be convenient.
Yeah. But yeah, like that's the piece. Is like I sit there looking at it, going,
I'm not either or, so that's the thing.
yes,
They're very use case scenarios,
yes.
and
Yeah.
unfortunately, we're in the boat of the original Switch's use case scenario.
Yeah, I'd rather plug it into a TV and let it do its.
Yeah.
I'd rather let it switch between a console and
I
a
mean,
handheld.
I've played mine mostly handheld, but
And that's the
And
thing.
me too, and that's where I sat there going, I know I play mostly handheld, but every once in a while you're playing something, you're like, I wonder, and you just plug it into the TV,
Oh, yeah,
and all of a
oh.
sudden it's like, boom, and you're
All
like,
right, that's
oh,
right.
yeah.
It does work. All right, it does
Or
work.
again, Mario Party, Mario Kart,
Exactly.
tennis,
Smash
When you
Bros.
got a
Smash
couch
Bros.
party.
Yeah,
That's
if
a
you
big
have
one.
actually people coming over to play stuff, it's like,
Then
hey,
yes.
click and boom.
yeah.
Because yeah, my colleague who was asking me about should I get a Switch or not, was asking me, hey, is the dock a pain in the ass to move back and forth? And I'm like, well,
It's
I
two
haven't
cables.
I haven't done it yet,
Yeah.
but because I do because all my cable management behind my TV stand,
Right.
it would be a pain in the ass. So I told him I might just get a second dock if I ever needed to do that.
Oh, I would get a second dock if we
Yeah.
ever
Yes.
had a
That's
second
what I'm saying.
TV that we played stuff on.
Yeah, okay, exactly. And that's what I told him. I would get a second dock hands down. But
It's
because
just 2 cables.
well, for me it's 3 because I actually hardwire my Switch dock in with an Ethernet
Oh, you
cable.
did? Oh, okay.
So I just happened to have the cable for it. It was in the same. It was literally right there. So I was like, I might as well do it
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it shares the same switch.
I have the
Yeah,
USB
as
thing
a-
for my
it's a-
controller charging things.
It shares the same Ethernet switch as my PlayStation 4.
Mm.
So, and my PlayStation.
Same
4.
as the Wii U, too.
Yeah,
I remember.
it was
like,
exactly.
My Wii U fits it.
It was the same dongle for my Wii U.
Yeah.
It's
the
it was exactly the same dongle. So yeah, interesting to see how this pans out for actually this Sword and Shield stuff coming out this year, as well as video game competitions and VGC. Better battery life is always welcome in that scenario.
Yeah. So
But it's gonna be a huge pain in the ass when it comes to the streaming the stuff.
sure.
Because when they stream the competitions, they have to then realize like, which switch is this person on? Do we have to transfer his Pokemon to one that we can output displays to? Like it's
Instead
gonna,
of just plugging it
yeah,
into
exactly.
it. Like
So
I
it's
said,
gonna
that
be
was the only one where
or are they gonna have a special switch, like light, that has another HDMI out? But then at that, why not just get that's right.
Yep. And that's where
I'm interested to see what the VGC does essentially.
That's where I was a little bit weirded out when I'm like, oh, it's just the USB Type C, man. Just like click.
I'm interested to also see if people, when this comes out, if people backwards engineer it and be like, I did it.
Oh, for sure.
I did it. I opened it up
People
and I soldered this wire to here.
Well, people
And
are
then-
already talking about like 'cause, like some of the Joy-Cons with the floating, or the like the left Joy-Con still
Oh,
has.
the deep directional buttons.
No, it still has. There's issues with like it sticks a little, so your characters will like it drift. There's the drifting.
When you're using what? I'm sorry.
Joy-Cons, like the regular
Yeah.
Nintendo Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
People have been repairing their own or sending them into.
Oh yeah,
Nintendo
yeah.
'cause-
Those Joy-Cons are
Well,
the
but
least
now they're
reliable controller
But
they've
now
ever
they're
made.
like hardwiring them into the actual systems. They're like, are they fixing the drifting issue before
And
they,
they also,
like?
and
you
they
know?
also they also get around the whole hardware unlocking the firmware thing too.
Yeah.
Because I remember that was a big thing with switch hacking was that if you put a paperclip between the Joy-Con or the Joy-Con and the console dock, you could actually hard unlock your system and install custom firmware with a paperclip.
Weird.
Yeah, it was like a hardware issue.
Yeah.
And it was literally that situation where every switch, and I think they just recently fixed it,
Yeah.
where every switch basically from start until,
Whatever
let's say
date.
like December of last year,
Yeah.
was this like, oh, we can hack it. We can hack the switch. And it's a hardware issue, not a software issue. It's the weirdest bug workaround I've ever seen. So yeah, it gets around that. Because can't hack it if you can't take the Joy-Cons off.
Yeah. But yeah, people are like, so when it starts drifting and we have to repair it, we now have to take the whole console apart.
Send it all
Like,
in.
Hopefully they fix that, and I haven't had that issue.
I'm interested to see about the D-pad more so than anything, because they've flat out said like, we have no plans on making a Joy-Con with a D-pad. Don't
No.
get your hopes up too high. But I'm like, but you did it. Just do that on a regular Joy-Con. Just do it.
I feel like they've looked at the numbers and gone, not enough people.
I would buy it.
Well, you would.
I would totally buy it.
I wouldn't.
I'd totes buy that.
I know you would. But that's my. I would not.
I'd get it.
I don't care
I'd get
enough
it.
to.
I'd get
So
it. I'd get
see,
it real
25% of people want one. Is that enough to
No.
produce it?
Is
Sort
there
of
enough
thing?
profit?
No.
It's,
If
well,
it's the same hard, like it's the same.
I get
production.
that, but then you're selling it not as buttons, so now when you it's not
Don't
quite
care.
the same. Well, again, I know you don't.
Don't give a shit.
I care.
But that's the piece. Is like it was funny going to the Disney store this morning because we spent all that time looking for those plushies, the Christopher Robin ones.
Mhm.
They are everywhere now,
Yes.
along with a bunch of other Pooh Bear stuff from Christopher Robin. Like all this merchandise is coming out a year after the movie.
Yeah.
And my wife goes, "Why is it coming out now?" And I'm like, "Because they were idiots and thought that no one wanted this stuff,
Yeah.
so they made 5 things."
That's actually not true. When I was in Disneyland that last December, it was
Well, that's because it took
Ever-
off.
it was everywhere.
Yeah, but that's because it
And
took
now it's-
off, and all of a sudden they're shipping it out to everybody else, going like, "Oh, people."
People wanted Pooh
want
Bear.
this.
So
stuff.
messed up in marketing.
People wanted Pooh Bear.
Well, because I mean, it wasn't a movie that was for kids, so for them to push stuff
Mm-hmm.
like at the Disney stores specifically, is well, at least here they don't like selling a lot of adult stuff.
Yeah.
But now it's like you go and there's a journal and there's a this and there's a that and you're going like, where did all this Christopher Robin stuff come from?
Is there a
Like,
sequel?
yeah.
Is there a sequel?
The only one you can't get is Kanga because she didn't sell out. So they didn't produce any extras of her.
That's all right.
So
No one cares
I
about her.
got her.
I like Kanga and Roo.
You did. You get a Kanga. And
Yeah.
When I bought Tigger, the lady's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry we don't have Kanga," and I'm like, "She's the first one I got because no one was buying her. Like,
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
2 because we gave one to my niece." But yeah, it's one of those marketing things where it's like, "Will people buy this?
Oh yeah.
Do we spend the money manufacturing this to?" And it's Nintendo, so it'll take 12 years before they actually do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with it when it comes out. I will purchase if they ever do it.
But yeah, the light is definitely not on any of our shopping lists.
No,
No.
it is.
Did they get
My
a
wife is
release date?
weary. My wife is weary, even though she definitely needs a Switch. It's another option for her.
It is, but
Did they
at the
give a
same-
release date?
Yes, September.
Yeah, so right before Pokemon.
Yep.
Yeah.
With a Pokemon edition.
There's
coming
also
out.
another
Yeah.
a Pokemon
Yeah.
which looks real good.
So then people are hoping by March we get an Animal Crossing edition.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
They did it for the 3DS.
I know.
And then a new Nintendo Switch.
And then
The new Nintendo Switch.
if they do that, I'll be cranky. But
They're gonna do a Pro Switch.
yeah,
They're doing it.
Yeah.
Don't you fret.
See, and again, if the Pro Switch comes out and it's like, oh, better battery life,
Yeah.
better
Oh, it
screen,
will be. It
like
will be
all
all.
that
It will be
jazz,
all better.
That's fine.
And a
It's-
D-pad.
D-pad. But like, if
and
they,
a D-pad.
if they release it where it's like you can only play these games on the new Nintendo Switch,
No,
it's
they
like
won't
it
do
is
that.
not time for that Switch yet.
No.
No. They're not. Although I wouldn't put it past them to do that because it's Nintendo.
They'll do it later. I can't see them
So-
doing it as the second iteration of the Switch or the
No.
third
Didn't it-
iteration of the Switch.
They put the second Breath of the Wild on the new Switch that
Yeah.
you can't play with the old Switch.
And that's where people online were funny because they're like, well, now they have to optimize games to work in handheld, and it's like they already have
They already have.
And it's
Yeah.
not that bad.
dums, and they're like, well, some games don't work well in handheld, and it's like, well, some games don't work well in handheld. Like,
And
Yeah.
vice versa, some games don't work well on TV either.
yeah,
Like Mario Maker 2 is way better as a handheld game,
well, it's because you can use the touchscreen.
which I still think the resistive touchscreen is better on the Wii U.
Well, and it's funny because I got Mario Maker, and I do it for the levels. I'm not building it. I cannot build anything to the level of what these
What
guys
those
are
guys
doing.
have built out there.
Like, there's nothing I can do.
I think with the radial menu, they tried very, very hard to make the level making stuff easy on a controller.
It's not too bad. I've watched some streams where
Yeah.
people have done, and of
It's-
course, when streaming, they have to.
They have to. They have no other option.
They can't
at the
handheld
moment.
mode it.
At the moment, they cannot.
So the one guy who works for Game Grumps, because they promised him, if it came out, they'd pay him the entire month just to make Mario Maker levels. And then they announced Mario Maker 2, and he's like,
Perfect.
I would do it. Easy peasy.
so he was streaming his, but he's like, okay, I'm gonna cut the stream. I'll be back in like an hour. So he'd handheld mode build some stuff, and then go back on stream and be like, okay, this is what I did. Just so you guys, like, I'll walk through the levels and explain my thought process.
it's
but
way easier to develop on.
to build it is very
Is the
much,
touch.
yeah.
It's still going to be better.
Yeah.
Moving on,
Yes.
we got other stuff happening. G2A, not to be confused with GTA.
No.
Very wildly different.
I don't know.
Wildly different.
Is it wildly different?
Not. You know what? At this point, probably not.
There is theft.
There's a form of theft.
So GTA.
So
It's
GTA.
okay. It's okay.
G2A.com. If you're not familiar with the website, it's a website that's used to resell Steam online games.
Yep.
Or Epic
Your
Games.
keys,
or
whatever kind
keys,
of game
PlayStation keys,
you have.
whatever.
Yep.
And so recently they've been under a lot of fire because of some issues with stolen credit cards that they have been using to purchase.
Or fake keys.
Or fake keys. G2 has never been entirely reputable anyways, let's be honest. They have never been...
Well, because it's impossible to check. Because you can't have someone submit a key and be like, oh yeah, that key's definitely
and here's
this
the word.
game.
Yeah.
Because if you put it in, you now
Right.
have used the key.
So if
Yeah.
I steal a credit card, or worst case scenario, if G2A acquires illegal credit cards, which is apparently some of the stuff that is coming out, they buy keys, they sell keys, someone else buys the keys and uses and redeems the keys. They have to go through all of that back looping to pull that game out of that person's library, and now it's
Well, and of course,
so sketchy.
you buy a key, you use the key doesn't work. Who's the company you're contacting?
Exactly.
It's
Like,
not G2A.
No.
It's going to be the game developer, and the game developer goes,
No idea.
huh?
No idea what's going on.
So they have to spend resources
And
now.
I think the biggest question, the biggest issue was that G2A was themselves under fire for using illegal means to get keys, not like anyone else, and not the game developers or anything. And so recently they were under fire again this week about wanting video game websites to publish news articles on how uncool it is to use illegal means to buy and resell keys on our on websites like
uncool.
G2A. Also, don't credit us. Also, don't credit us. We want to be we want this to be an unsponsored article written by us. It's super not cool. Please publish.
I'm just wondering how,
Like, what?
in this day and age, that kind of stuff. Like,
That
you go
is-
to Amazon, there's checks and balances to all
There
of
is.
this stuff. Like, so how is
They don't.
all of this going down? And it's just,
They
and
don't.
I guess
They don't.
you don't
They
have
gotta
to
get
care.
shut down at some point.
I honestly do hope G2A does get shut down at some point, because it's not doing anyone any favors. It's easier for developers to keep track of where keys are being bought off of Steam or Epic or an actual game client.
Well, but like, here's my thing: is like I buy Humble Bundles and I end up with doubles of keys.
Humble Bundles is okay.
I know, but
Yeah,
then
if
to
you wanna
sell
sell-
that key, something like this is cool
Yes.
if, again, there's checks and balances and all of the
Legit.
pieces are
Yeah.
there going like, yep, this is where I acquired the key
Yeah.
from, this is this.
But they're
this
not.
is that.
There's not. They don't care.
And they
No.
don't care. So the,
Yes,
the
and that's-
concept is cool. The execution
It's
itself,
very poor.
they
And the-
did not do well.
And the fact that they wanted to follow up by saying we want to publish articles that is unsolicited and not sponsored by us. Totally cool.
Yeah, when we used to do the written stuff, we were part of Nintendo's chain of things. So, like, they'd
Yeah,
email a press
every once in a
release
while.
going, like,
Yeah.
a press release from Nintendo. So you would post it and being like, press release from Nintendo.
We should see if we were one of the 10 video game websites that was contacted by
I-
G2A to put up the article.
I doubt it.
Yeah. Don't use that website. If you're gonna,
There's Reddit subreddits for that
there's
kind
way
of stuff.
better.
There's so
yeah,
many different.
there's better communities resources for that.
You're not going to see Brian right now. You're going to see him for a while, so just chill.
No, my boyfriend.
Just
I would
chill.
like to be promoted to uncle.
Okay.
Uncle.
It's kind of weird, though, if you make out with her.
I won't.
Okay, Steve Rogers.
He wasn't.
Different timeline.
Okay,
It's not
Steve
the same
Rogers.
timeline.
is.
All right, Steve
They
Rogers.
explain it at the beginning. It's not the same timeline.
Okay, Steve.
It is.
Okay, Steve
It's
Rogers.
not Back to the Future. It's something else. It's a different, separate timeline where he can invest in Apple stock and Google.
Nope. Oh, I have to show you that Warp Zone video. They made a video of Steve Rogers. Anyways,
Anywho.
time for later. Yeah, so G2A, they are, and I guess something happened recently.
Don't go follow them.
Yeah, don't follow them anyways. You should not be following them.
No.
Moving on, right along. We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Do we?
So much.
Post-credit stuff.
Post credit.
Well, yes, post credit, yeah.
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 Cuphead.
Cuphead is an excellent video game.
It is an impossible video game.
It is. Do you like to die in video games a lot?
There's a fountain that tells you how often you die.
Yes. My number's very high.
Right, yeah.
I haven't gotten to that point yet, so I don't want to find out.
Are you in the second world?
Yeah, it's in the
you
second
can find
world.
the fountain.
Yeah,
you
it's
just
the
don't
second-
want to find the fountain. I
No,
just
you
don't
have to
want
beat
to.
someone, don't you?
don't think so.
No,
it's
probably
just
not.
down at the bottom.
So Cuphead, developed by MLT or MTL
No.
Studios in
Yes.
Montreal.
What
It's
are
developed
those
in Canada.
people?
It is getting its own Netflix TV show. I'm
Yes.
very excited for
Hi,
this.
Virtual Bacon.
I am cautiously optimistic.
Hi.
What's up, Virtual Bacon? Welcome to the show.
To the
I'm
show.
very optimistic about this because if they take their tune of the whole 60s cartoon, 70s
Yeah, I'd be
cartoon,
interested.
If they
in
do,
listening-
yes.
it is. I am super on board.
If they
as-
don't, though, that's why I say until I
As-
see.
And as far as voice actors go, as I mentioned to you before the start of the show, no voice actors, just like Simlish kind of voices at the very
It's-
most.
The people seem to want it to go with the silent films of the 1930s. and
Oh
that
yeah,
kind of
absolutely,
stuff.
do
Well,
that.
which would make sense.
'Cause
That's
it's the
exactly
game.
that's
Yeah.
the vibe. That's the
But if you're making a cartoon, is it for kids? If it's for kids, the reading gets to be
Tough.
I think
tougher.
I think
so-
you geared towards us audience.
and I feel that way.
That's the only way to do
Yeah.
this show, because you don't want kids going like, oh, I want to play Cuphead now. They can't even get past the first.
but yeah,
But at
No.
least they bought the game.
At least they bought the
At least they
game
bought the game.
with their parents' credit
What
card.
they bought.
Yes.
What is it?
It
And the
was
dad
not
will,
stolen.
or mom will have
Was
to
not
beat the
stolen.
level for them, and because
No.
But then again, the
No.
No one's beating
Cuphead,
those
the entire
levels.
Cuphead
No, you
game
get
is
to
a
beat that
giant
yourself,
homage to
I'm
those
not
old
helping
Impossible
you.
games, anyways.
it's
a very-
to that and to obviously the old animation of the 1930s, 30s.
And it just looks, the hand drawn nature of it all looks just so beautiful.
So that's the piece. If they can pull that
Music
off,
music is also a big pin thing too with
Yeah.
with that game. So if the music and the animations transfer over,
yes,
I'm super okay. Even if it does end up having like if they give Cuphead and Mugman voices, like at the very end, at the very least, if it still looks and sounds like it, I'm okay.
yes, and
But like yes, you're right. Do the silent film thing.
again, the fact that it's color. Like cartoons means it was within the realm of possibility that they could have added voices to it because color cartoons came after the voice,
I
like
think-
adding voices to cartoons. So it's one of those pieces where it wouldn't be out of nature for them to have voices, but it still has to have the same style and the music, like
Music.
everything has. Even the voices when they find them have to be very
cartoony.
cartoony,
And
old
over,
school,
over the top.
Yeah, yeah,
cartoony,
Over the
like-
top, over the
Gangster.
like
Wow,
Popeye.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Popeye, Steamboat Willie kind of thing.
and yeah. Well, Steamboat
didn't-
Willie
there
was
was no-
really, but
Yeah, it was, but I don't think it had voices, did it?
yeah, that was
Did
the
it?
first cartoon
Yeah.
with voices.
Oh, was it?
That was
Okay.
the whole point to
So
Steamboat.
yeah, then yeah, like they could.
It was
as
just
long-
Walt Disney high pitching his voice into a microphone, but
As long as you get, as long as you're all campy
yeah.
about it,
So they just
As
need
long
the
as-
creators of the game just to go high pitch and.
but that's the piece. Is
you can
like,
save on costs.
that's the piece. Is like how they do the voices and how they do the music and how they do the animation determines whether this is like a hit
Yeah.
or they're like we're gonna animate it and it's like what?
No, anime, no.
Why does Cuphead sound like Goku?
Ah.
Yeah.
This also comes in the heels of the DLC being delayed until 2020.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because that's what, like, two guys working at that studio, right?
Well, and again,
Whatever.
who cares? I'm never gonna make it to the DLC anyway.
Yeah.
Like that's the game. It's like we're releasing DLC, and I'm like,
I haven't beat the second level yet.
I
or world. I haven't
I
beat
got
the
into the second world, and I'm out. Like there's a
haven't beat that
castle that
level
keeps.
yet.
There's a castle that keeps chasing me, and I've gotten most
I just
of the
beat the
rhythms
slot
down, but
machine.
Yeah,
I just beat the slot machine.
a
That's
slot
the first
machine I
world.
was down for.
Yeah.
First world.
That castle though, where she throws like, yeah,
Right now I'm at the dragon.
Sure.
There's a
I
dragon.
don't
that
know where
keeps
there's a
spinning fire.
dragon.
Yeah, there's a dragon, and you're in a
I'm gonna
plane.
die.
It's yeah, that game is awesome, but
it's awesome and it looks
punishing.
gorgeous, but
It's so punishing.
it is very punishing. And even when you learn the
Patterns.
patterns, all of a sudden there's a new one that shows up, and you're like,
Yes.
for the love
Because you
of
made
God.
it farther.
But I think
Right.
But
so
I think
that's-
it's one of those games where it's like it's okay to die because it shows you your progress through each stage.
yeah, I'm
It
almost
doesn't
there.
help when you made it farther one time and then you backtracked a little.
But that's okay as long as you're
I
learning.
wasn't focusing.
It's a game about
Yeah.
learning. So yes,
Is it-
Cuphead Netflix show. I'm super.
I'm cautiously optimistic about
oh,
this.
I am,
We'll see.
I am super.
As soon as I see animation, then I'm in or out. Like, that's my,
honestly, like there's only one way to do it.
there is only one way to do it.
But
my
I think
fear is that
But I think they'll do it. I think they'll pull it out.
The creator of Cuphead said he is. There was an article that was very badly headlined where it's like he's not involved, and I'm like, well, this show's going to absolute poop.
Yeah.
He's not involved in like he's not the one doing it.
Right, he's got better things to do right now.
Like
the
he's
DLC.
not the one doing the animation.
And number 2.
Like he's someone else is handling all of it. He is involved in the production of the show, so
Yeah.
which is good.
He's kind of overseeing it.
Yes,
with
he's
the
overseeing
fun-
things, but he's not the one doing it.
Yeah.
They're still working on the DLC.
Yeah.
Is the big piece, and whatever they're working
Because
on.
everybody's like,
next.
well, if he's not working on it, then
What's the
yes,
point?
it's going to be junk.
Yes.
Because we've seen what happens when creators aren't involved in their own work. But he's
Avatar?
involved.
Avatar.
He's just.
That movie doesn't exist.
It's called The Last Airbender or whatever.
Oh,
Anyways,
right.
'cause
Because
Avatar
Avatar was already
Yeah.
taken.
Avatar.
Blue Pocahontas movie.
Blue Pocahontas.
Fern Gully.
Alien Pocahontas.
Ferngully. Which I still have not seen.
Really?
I've not seen
Better
Avatar.
movie.
No, I've not seen
Oh,
Avatar.
Fern
And
Gully's
you
a better
complain about
movie.
some of the movies we haven't seen.
Yeah, that's.
never seen
Avatar, the
Avatar?
only well, no, because the only reason to see it was to go see 3D, and I can't see 3D. So,
Well,
You can watch it in 2D.
You can still watch it in 2D.
well, what's the point? You guys have said it's Pocahontas and Fern Gully. I've seen those movies,
So,
so I'm done.
No, I didn't say that. I said
but this one's got
it
Zoe
was probably
Saldana.
good back then, but all the hype's gone now.
Oh yeah, it's completely disappeared. But when the hype was there, it was like it's 3D, and I'm like I can't
The
see
animals
3D.
are cool and the flora.
I do
I
want
go
to
to
see.
Disney
the
World
fauna.
and see all
Watch
of
the
that
movie.
That's true.
I want to see the Pandora World and
Watch
Disney
the
World. Is
movie.
it Disney World?
Disney World.
Yeah, I want to see the Pandora World.
You watch that movie, I'll watch something that you've been disappointed in me for a while.
Tony watched Die Hard.
Yeah,
I've watched a bunch of movies.
You have to watch the movie we select.
yeah.
I just watched Us and Get Out and Hellboy.
We didn't
Oh, you
tell you.
saw Hellboy.
We didn't tell you.
I saw the new Hellboy.
We didn't tell you to watch those.
Well, you guys have seen Get Out, I think.
I've seen Get Out. We've
yeah.
seen.
I've
I
seen
think
Get Out.
we've all seen Get Out now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, we'll find out soon.
I gotta see that other one though.
Us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
We do.
I've
Yeah.
seen it too.
We need to.
I just watched it this past week. Too.
We need to.
I'm like, I watched Get Out, and I'm like, we'll follow it up. Why not? And then I sat there last night, sleeping, going,
I'm not going to
oh,
a cabin.
no.
I'm not going. To a cabin.
Is it one of those like keeps you up at night movies?
We'll find out when we go to the
I'll
post
talk
credit
about it.
shit.
Either way,
Next
moving
piece
on.
of information.
This one makes me sad. So Hasbro recently bought the
Right.
rights to Power Rangers.
And they did announce that they were doing another Power Rangers film.
They want
Yes.
to do another
They
movie.
expressed interest in
Yes.
it.
They are not making a sequel, though.
they-
They're rebooting it.
Yes.
In an interview with Montgomery, Darcy.
Well, it's
Montgomery?
Comic-Con happening right now, so we're going to get
Comic Con
Yeah.
stuff is popular.
Yeah,
The
we're
guy
gonna
from
see-
Stranger Things.
Billy, the guy,
Billy.
Billy, the guy who played Billy in Stranger Things. He's got a weird actual name because he's
Darcy. It's Darcy Montgomery.
But yeah, it's a kind of weird
It's
name.
it's Australian.
Yeah, I know he's Australian.
They're weird down there.
Don't tell. I've met crazy Australians. They party hard.
So all of them.
Yes.
Yeah, they're all nuts.
Yes, they
it's
are.
just part of being.
But I think I
Australian.
love that because I love that of them.
Well, one of our
But they're
friends
crazy.
lived in Australia for years, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
It was like drinking every night and this and that. Like, you go and it's like I could not survive Australia.
They drink so much.
Whew. Either
But
way,
it was an interview with him.
well, because he's on the thing for Stranger Things
Yes.
right now.
Anyways, so yeah, Power Rangers reboot.
Yeah, they don't want any
He
of them
said they're
back.
doing it, but he's not involved.
Which is disappointing because that for the
They did a
reboot
good
film
job.
wasn't actually like
They were actually
trash.
kids with attitudes.
They were
Yeah.
teenagers with attitudes.
Not just
yeah.
it was the Breakfast Club,
Yeah.
Power Rangers Breakfast Club,
with
I thought it
giant
was
monsters and-
giant monsters and robots.
Like I left going like that was good.
Yeah.
I was enjoyed.
I wasn't like that was like grade A solid. Like oh my god.
No.
We wanted to see the moments.
But they
Which-
hit enough points where you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a sequel, because now they've gotten all of this origin junk out of the
Especially
way.
when
Yeah.
you tease Tommy. at the
Sure.
end.
Exactly.
He's
yeah.
Tommy, and Rita's gone up into space.
Right,
Yes.
like now
Where
I'm gonna
she
get
should be.
Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Like maybe Zed shows up now. Like there's all these pieces of
Ooze.
Ivan Ooze.
Ivan Ooze.
Yeah, that's
Ooze.
what we need to
That's
see.
a better Ivan
I have
Ooze.
recently found that movie on Blu-ray, so
Wow.
It's a stellar film.
Does it age
Yeah,
well?
I don't know.
I don't think
It does not
I don't
age
think.
well.
I don't think that film.
I don't
ages well
care.
at
That's
all.
nostalgia right there.
It's nostalgia and live off that because the most disappointing part of the Ivan Ooze movie was the like Zord fight was all done with
CG.
3D CD.
I
CGI.
remember it was real bad.
And it's just like, oh man, I like the guys in big rubber suits
Yes.
fighting it
But they
out,
couldn't
like-
get it because, it wasn't in Japan, so they didn't have
I know they didn't have the Super Sentai footage to like slot in, but it's like, come on, guys, like.
Nope. CG was
Get-
the hot thing that year.
It was, yes.
And I get that.
Everything was
it,
CG.
It definitely did not age well.
No, you try watching
I should
Animorphs
watch
now.
it to find out.
No.
Oh no, I watched it and it was because I love
You
that
try to
movie,
watch
and I
Beetle-
still love that movie because
You try to watch Beetle Wars now.
It's cheesy.
it's cheesy.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And that's what I love. Like
the
they're-
acting portions are great because it's bad.
Well, and that's just it. They're the first fight scene, like Kimberly's still sitting there, and it's like, "Have a nice trip. See you next fall." And like, she trips someone and like knocks another guy down. You're like, and they're flipping.
And
they're
they're-
doing
and
back.
and the fact
back
that there were-
springs for no reason. You're like,
And the fact that there were moments in that in the newest reboot
Yeah.
was very promising.
Yes, but
they
they
had
do
little
it.
dumb little like
Well,
lines.
but even
Little
they had
quips.
Yeah.
20 seconds of "Go Power Rangers." And
Yes.
It's
Oh,
like, you did
Where
it.
they're like running on the...
Yeah, and it's like they did it. Like kudos to you guys for putting that in your film.
Yeah.
So, but we don't get that anymore.
We
We might
don't
get
know what
that
we're
just
getting.
with
We don't know
different
what
we're
actors.
getting.
Turbo Force.
Turbo.
No.
It was just Turbo.
Turbo. No, they're gonna make their own.
Power Rangers, Ninjas, Power
Ninja
Rangers.
Force.
Well, so now is the new
Dino
movie gonna
Crisis.
like connect to the TV shows again, like
We
the
don't
old
know.
movies?
You
did?
could, if you wanted to do that, where you have two the same
Rated
universe.
R Power Rangers movie,
No.
just like the
Hasbro
YouTube.
is definitely not going to do that.
You know what we-
They
But
want
you,
to sell toys.
you have it in the same universe where this happens in a different location,
It's a figure of Tommy just flipping someone off.
Yeah.
and then they have to come together for a big evil.
Maybe. Because technically Power Rangers canon, if you follow the TV show, like the original Power Rangers were still
They're still in the show
ori-
somehow.
Every once in a while, like they reference the fact that there were Power Rangers 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And technically, if they do that in here, it could still be in that same universe of the movie, just a new set of Rangers, but they'll still
A different
reference-
area.
A
I don't
different
think-
area.
it could always
You
have
just
to
can't
be-
bring in these Power Rangers in the past movie because
Yeah.
they don't fit with the TV show realm of things.
No, I'm saying like
But you
I'm,
could-
I'm
that's why
saying
you
they do a
can
movie
explain-
universe of
Like
like
dead movie universe.
But
so-
that's where you could explain Tommy and Kimberly being there with a cameo at the end.
But
Oh,
If
well,
they were
that was-
coming in to check on
that
things.
was
They
that
weren't
no
there to check on
no
things.
those guys were
the
here.
lines did not fit
No.
for them to be like, oh my god,
They were
like the
citizens.
Power Rangers are back. Yeah, they were like, oh my god, giant robot fighting. Did you see that?
I'm gonna take my phone
just-
out
We
and
didn't
take
see
a
them until
picture.
they started waving at them.
I
and
just hope
cheering.
it's still
You don't
based on
know.
the original, and it's not like the Power Rangers Ninjas or Power
Turbo.
Rangers. Nah, Turbo wasn't bad, I guess.
Turbo was dumb.
That kid that transformed and grew in size because the Super Sentai guys were.
But I just
Oh,
prefer
shocking.
back to like the dinosaurs and the saber tooth and the
Oh, the Zords, the
The
original
Zords.
Zords.
They gotta
were
keep
cool.
the original Zords and not the weird ones.
Well, what did they do in the Ooze movie? They changed it.
They went to the Animal Force. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and then
you
the
do
Animal
that.
Force was right after the movie.
White Falcon and
Yeah.
The frog.
The frog.
That's all I remember.
You do
That
that.
was, I
I'm
thought
a
that
frog.
Was, that was
I'm
a
a
real
frog.
dumb Zord.
What did Kimberly become? A phoenix or something weird?
Who's the
No.
frog?
Hawk?
Billy?
No, Hawk was Tommy.
No, he was a falcon.
Oh,
he
he's a
became
falcon.
that was Falcon Sword.
Who was the frog?
Red Ranger became
Black-
a monk.
the Black
he was the
Ranger.
the
The
black
Black
guy
Okay.
The
who
Black,
was Asian at that point or Mexican.
Because they had to change it up.
the Black
Had to
Ranger.
change it
The
up.
Black
The
Ranger.
Black Ranger, not the
became-
black guy.
Very
Black
specific.
guy who's the Black Ranger.
The black person was the Yellow Ranger.
And the yellow
that's
person
right.
who's the Yellow Ranger.
Switch it up.
Can't be making those
No.
illusions.
Colors. Either way, so
they need new colors.
new
That's what they need.
Beige.
But other colors don't mix. Yeah, that's the like. What are you gonna
Teal.
do? Yeah. They had a
Maroon.
teal. They had a teal ranger.
Maroon.
Prismatic.
Ranger.
Prismatic. I'm
They've
all
had
the
one.
colors.
They've had one.
I'm the Pride Ranger.
You think you're somewhere, but they've done that one. It's fine.
I'm all the colors.
They stick to the primaries and secondary colors because they mesh well together when you put a Zord together, and they look good all standing in a row.
Also, yes. Pride.
When Disney took over, they got cheap and they're like, we're only gonna make like 3 Rangers. So all of a sudden there was 3 of them, and you're like,
Oh yeah.
This
and they
color
were
scheme doesn't
yellow,
work.
blue, red, like they were the
Purple.
primaries.
Purple.
You got
Purple's
one
not a
leg,
primary.
the torso,
But
and
no,
a head.
it's a
I don't think
secondary.
I've ever had a purple ranger.
Yeah, Purple Ranger.
I'm sure they've had a Purple Ranger.
I don't think
I've
they've
never
ever
seen a
done-
purple ranger.
I'm trying to mix my colors up here.
Green, white, red, black,
Orange.
blue, yellow.
Purple
I've never seen orange.
Ranger.
Pink.
There's a
Pink
Purple
they've
Ranger.
done.
Huh?
Pink
Pink
There
Ranger.
is
Yeah,
a Purple
yeah.
Ranger.
No, I'm naming all the ones that they've done.
Purple
Is that
Ranger
not like their
character.
own? Like someone just made that?
No.
Yeah, it looks like someone made that up.
That's all the costumes look like. Somebody made their own.
Green Ranger's a little different. He had those
He
things.
turned
or
into the
something.
White
Robert
Ranger.
R.J. James, portrayed by actor David Lee Latour, is the Purple Jungle Fury Power Ranger.
Oh, Jungle.
Oh,
I haven't
Jungle
made it to
Fury.
Jungle.
Fine,
Fury.
orange.
Turquoise.
Yeah,
There is a-
turquoise.
There is a turquoise ranger. She's not actually turquoise. She's the Blue Ranger, but her costume was turquoise.
Oh, no orange Power Ranger.
There we go.
I don't think. It doesn't
It would
look
look
like.
too much like red.
Depends on
What kind of
how bright
safety
it
safety cone
is.
orange?
Yeah.
It kind
Guys,
of does
be
look
sneaky.
like. This is what the concept of an orange ranger looks like.
Yeah, mostly red.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, either way, they're doing a reboot, so I don't know where you go with this. If you Mighty Morphin Power Rangers it, if you
Amazing Power Rangers.
No, you animal.
The Amazing Power.
Animal Kingdom it.
do
No.
the Animal Kingdom Ninjas.
I say Turbo.
What they did for Ooze.
Yeah, ooze.
Turbo's too close to Transformers at this point, because it is. It's just cars.
Transform. Okay, to be fair,
Animal.
Transformers
It's
is no
just the
longer
Beasties.
Transformers.
Yeah.
Beasties. Beasties.
Well, that's a different movie
Beasties.
entirely.
Beasties.
Yeah.
It's still Hasbro, right?
It's not.
No, they got. They're no longer
No, they're not.
Mattel.
Ooh.
Who owns Transformers?
Who owns
Transformers. I don't know.
Paramount Pictures.
Mattel.
Beasties.
Who owns
Beasties.
Transformers?
Beasties.
Who owns Transformers? It is.
Everybody.
It's all in our hearts this entire time.
Yeah.
I can't find it. Either way,
No one owns them.
we all do. Yes,
Who produces the Transformers toy line?
Hasbro.
Takara.
According to Wikipedia, the Transformers toy line was created from
I don't care who was created. I know that. I've seen that episode.
Anywho,
Either
Anyways.
Hasbro.
Hasbro.
It's the same people. There you go. They're trying to create
Crossover.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's happened in the comics already.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. Comics. They've done a lot of.
crossover. Power Rangers versus Transformers versus G.I. Joe.
That would be.
Transformers has done Transformers and Ninja Turtles, I think.
Really?
I can believe that.
Oh yeah, Transformers have mixed with a lot of people in the comics.
Yes, it's a very like.
Well, because in the comics you can do whatever.
Yeah.
The movies it gets a lot harder because it's
Turtles
like,
mixed with Batman once.
they had that.
They did.
yeah,
That
a
was a
recent
that was a
animated-
movie.
It's a recent animated movie.
That's a movie. It just came
Oh!
out not too long ago.
My bad.
I still have to watch that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it for the news.
That's it for news,
I
guys.
don't know how I feel about this. So I have to know what storyline they're going.
Correct.
With. Power Rangers.
I'm actually more disappointed that they're not.
I am
doing a
disappointed that
sequel.
they're
I'm
not like
disappointed they're not-
continuing.
They
That's more
waited
than
too
anything.
long. They waited too long.
They waited far too long because
Yes.
it was no longer relevant. Well,
No.
Power Rangers is always relevant, but that movie is no longer relevant.
I just think you aged them out.
Yeah, they don't have to be high school kids anymore.
But I think you aged them out.
I don't know.
Because that was the whole thing, is there's teenagers, but they're not
Well,
in high
Can
school,
we
they're
talk
not
about
teenagers
Mortal
anymore.
Kombat?
No,
We-
we did not.
we can talk about Mortal
Kombat. Rated R. Fatalities involved in the film.
That's all that matters.
That's what I was just thinking because I was like, rated R Power Rangers.
No, we
They
don't
were
need a rated R Power
I would
Rangers.
wouldn't watch rated R.
Certain things should.
so good.
I don't know what I would do. I think it'd
Certain
have to be
things should,
cheesy
and
and
Power
campy
Rangers
like the
would
first
not be.
two movies.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't think Hellboy should have been rated R.
It
I
should.
still think
Based
there
off
should be
the
a rated
comic,
R
it-
Teenage
it
Mutant
should.
Ninja
If
Turtles.
they went stuck closer to the comic.
If they stuck closer to the comic,
Yeah.
still doesn't need to be rated R.
So,
It's like
well,
Walking Dead.
Nope.
Walking Dead needs to be rated R.
Well, yes, it does. Hellboy does not. I've read multiple Hellboy comics. It does not need to be rated R.
okay, cool.
Either way,
We'll let you know
It's a
what
discussion
that
for
all that
another
means in
time.
a couple minutes.
yes,
because
that
we're gonna-
discussion continues.
continues in the post-credit show where we talk about movies and games and movies and
Movies
games,
we've watched, games we've played, and nerd stuff we've done.
experiences,
Are you
or
cheating?
games,
Yeah.
Stop reading
whatever it
mine.
is. You can see my list too. I don't care. We'll see you guys in about 5 minutes. We're gonna reset the wires. We're gonna refeed the hamsters. We're gonna probably let some farts go.
I know, I cheated.
While we
on
do
you
that,
guys.
like, subscribe, follow, do all of that lovely stuff, and check out barrelrollnews.com.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.